Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you've got Darren Little here from Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, and we are live right now on an international call, on an international broadcast, broadcasting to all four corners of the world. Guys, today is Friday the 13th, and typically superstition says that it's an unlucky day, but I can tell you this, today in 2017, Friday the 13th will be the day that you will remember for the rest of your life. And I'm not kidding here, guys. Today is your lucky day. And I will share with you that if you're in a position right now where you're in a state of transition, you've reached a breaking point in your life, you're ready to take your life 10x. You're ready to scale up your income in 2017 and going into a brand new year in 2018 to make more money than you've ever made in any year ever before. I'm going to share with you why. I believe that the reason that people don't make money is because of their pride and their ego to actually get a mentor. Now, why is a mentor so important? A lot of people try and go online and they do what's called winging it. They try this, they try that, they buy a course, they buy some training, they show up to a webinar, and they're sort of peering through a window. They're trying to figure it out. They're trying to crack the code, almost like unlocking the Rubik's Cube to try to figure how it works. And let me tell you guys, there's a lot of moving parts when it comes to online marketing. And you really have to understand the basics first and be able to master the basics so that you can actually start to scale up your business. This is where a lot of people actually go wrong. They get into a company, the company sells them a product, and there's only two things that company tells them to do: upgrade and buy traffic. And I will share with you that, my friends, is the recipe for bankruptcy. If you don't know what to do with the leads that are coming in, you're literally just burning money away. I've gotten so many calls from people that are $50,000, $75,000, $100,000, as much as $108,000 in the hole from following that strategy. So don't do it. Trust me on this. The first thing that you need to do is you need to surrender your pride, you need to surrender your ego, and you need to get a millionaire mentor. Now, why is that? Why is that so important? I've been in this industry for 3 decades, guys, 30 years. And I can share with you that when I very first started, when I was in my early 20s, I had some very good millionaire mentors, and they took me under their wing and they showed me exactly what to do step by step so that I wasn't going to go right into the minefield and blow all my money. Okay, so the thing that I'm going to share with you here is that imagine yourself walking through a minefield, right? And you don't know where any of the mines are. So there's a high probability that you're going to get your legs blown off. You don't want to do that. Now imagine what it would be like if you were walking right behind a minesweeper. What sort of confidence would you have going from one side of that minefield to the other, right behind a minesweeper that's sweeping in front of you? Oh, don't go there, right? Don't go there. Oh, don't step there, right? So the power of a mentor is literally like walking right behind a minesweeper so they can steer you all the way across to the other side of that minefield to safety. And in online marketing, that's called freedom, okay? That is called freedom. Now, my question to you is, how could it possibly be that I could take somebody as young as 17 years old with no previous success, no previous marketing experience, and their very first 30 days in business make $35,000 in profit month one? Okay, now think about that. A lot of people, They get into online marketing, and because they don't know what to do, they're kind of just guessing. Well, maybe I'll try this strategy. Maybe I'll try that strategy. So a lot of times it's like they're steering their sailboat. They don't even know they're going right into the rocks because nobody's telling them if they're on course. Very, very similar here. So what would we be able to teach a 17-year-old kid to be able to start a business and 30 days later make $35,000 month one? Now, I want you to think about the power of that, because a lot of people may be online for 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, and still never get to have a $35,000 month. Well, that 17-year-old kid, his very first month made $35,000. Now, we have people literally from all walks of life, okay? 23-year-old construction worker, $26,000 his first month. Single moms working part-time, $10,000 their very first month. Part-timers, right? We had a full-time engineer working on a very casual part-time basis, $13,000 his very first month. And in 9 months, he tripled. Okay, I'm going to say this again. He tripled his income with his engineering, his online. He got 2 pay raises, a job promotion, plus he signed a $30,000 consulting contract, all from Millionaire Mentoring. So I want to share with you guys this. This is more than just learning about how to market online, because these strategies are transferable skills, okay, to every area of your life. So what you'll find is that once you learn these techniques, your marriage will get better. You'll literally re-fall in love with your spouse or your significant other. The communication with your children will get better. Your health, your wellness will get better. Your spiritual connection, family, relationships, career, travel, financial goals, material things, learning how to actually manifest and create whatever reality that you want for yourself. Now, here's what I'm going to share with you on tonight's broadcast. A lot of people don't understand this. You are actually creating your own reality, right? Now, that might be a little bit tough to swallow when things aren't going too well, okay? When things aren't going the way that you planned, and you're in what's called a spiral. You're spiraling out of control right into the rocks, right? And that's very, very challenging time for people to be, because they don't know what to do. Now, I'll share with you this. We as a human race are actually going through something called an awakening, right? And part of this process is the spiral. So the first level of the game, guys, is called victimhood. And you probably don't even know what you're going through, but that's where it feels like the world is actually doing stuff to you. But my question to you is, what if the world was actually doing stuff for you and you don't even realize it? How about that? And the spiral actually has a purpose to get you to finally surrender and step into your greatness, where your pain from the first level of the game becomes your power in the second level of the game. And that's when you actually start to go 10x. Now, what a lot of people don't realize is that the way that the reality is created is through thought, directed emotion that generates feeling. Okay. Now, there's 2 worlds that actually exist simultaneously. Okay. Just so you know, there's everything you want right here, and there's everything you don't want right here. Now, the challenge is that this formula, the equation for manifestation, it works for everything that you want. That's the good news. The bad news is it works for everything that you don't want. And a lot of people don't realize that they're focusing on everything they don't want. They are emotionally connected to everything not working. They're emotionally connected to their bills and the job that they hate and the traffic and the fact that they can't see their kids. and they get frustrated. And the more that they get frustrated, the more that they're sending out this broadcast, just like a radio beacon, out to the electrons. Now, in The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace D. Wattles, he talks about something in that book, and I highly recommend that you read it, called formless substance. That, my friend, is the electrons, and they're waiting for your instructions. Now, remember, you can get everything you want over here, or you can get everything that you don't want over here. You're literally walking a tightrope between these two different realities every single day, right? This is where it gets a little bit challenging, and this is where the real game of mastery begins, because you have to master your thoughts, you have to master your words, what you say, what you write, and you got to master your feelings, your emotions, right? So what I would like to do here today, guys, and thanks a lot for joining us on this exclusive and private VIP broadcast tonight. I am really excited tonight because, like I said, it's Friday the 13th, but we're going to give you a little bit of luck tonight when you hear some amazing transformational stories of people literally going from rags to freedom. And some of these stories, quite honestly, guys, are shocking. Shocking when I tell you. We have people literally that were living on their credit cards just 6 months ago, and now they've made over $94,000 online, right, through Millionaire Mentoring. This is the power of being able to fast track yourself along the path. So what I like to do right now is like to reach out to a couple of people on this call, and I want to actually start off with a story here, guys. This is one that really is close to my heart because, you know, this happens to some people sometimes where you find yourself going down a rabbit hole and there doesn't seem to be anywhere to go. This couple, they found themselves in a situation. They have 6 kids, okay? 3 from Jose, 3 from Yennefer. I actually call them the Brady Bunch, okay? But they found themselves in a situation where they'd actually used up all of their savings account. Their network marketing company income started to spiral. They didn't have any other income to turn to. And they found themselves with an eviction notice, 2 days with no water, and they were literally on the verge of becoming homeless. And they called me and they said, Darren, we're really in dire straits. We don't know what to do. They were in panic. Okay. Now you can tell when somebody's in panic from their voice, right? Voice starts quivering a little bit because there's no way to go. They didn't know what to do. And we had a conversation, and that conversation totally and completely shifted their reality forever. They went from an eviction notice to 9 months later with $134,000 in yearly income. So I'd like to welcome Yennefer and Jose to the call.
Hello. Well, oh my God, thank you, Darren, for having us on here. So first of all, thank you so much. It's an honor to always be on your calls. But man, it's been a journey these past 9 months, right?
Yes, it has.
Well, baby, want to share?
Yeah, Darren, thanks for having us on. Appreciate it. Yeah, like Darren was saying, I mean, we were definitely going through a transition and a breaking point at the same time, I would say. You know, I was in transition. I moved from one state to another. We were living on savings. Our network marketing companies crashed pretty much. Our team duplication was not there. And we just seen ourselves in unfamiliar territory. And I mean, it was really rough. It was really rough. And I'm thinking back, you know, I mean, I don't even want to think back at those times. I was stressed out, didn't know what to do. I know Yennefer reached out to Darren. You know, my ego was kind of like, should we even reach out to this man? I don't know. And Yennefer called him, and, you know, he gave us a timeline. He gave us a timeline that we worked, and, you know, for 10 days, and pretty much, you know, he gave some tough love. You know, he told us to surrender our ego and our pride and follow the formula that we already knew. which we've been practicing, but we just weren't being 100% coachable. We weren't. And, you know, we started working this timeline for 10 days, day in, day out, you know, just doing everything
Let me add that we didn't have, you know, the money to get into Top Recruiters Academy. And, you know, me and Jose were talking about it in the bathroom that day after talking to you. And I'm like, I don't know how we're going to get into Top Recruiters Academy, but we're going to get there. And the freaking wall, like, shook, guys. Like, the frames, right, fell from the bathroom. And I just knew that this was something that was going to take us to the next level.
Absolutely, absolutely. And, you know, I think there was just so much emotion that day when we were having that conversation. But, you know, I remember having our first income explosion of $5,400, you know, within a period of 4 days. And that's when it just started becoming so surreal, I guess, you know. And, you know, we're just so excited it was happening. And we were able to raise, you know, the money to obviously, you know, save our home, get our utilities back on, and to start pushing from there. I mean, the very next week, I think we did like another $6,000 in income.
And then 19 weeks we did, no, it was 9 weeks, we did $10,000 more, and it just kept growing from there. And then now, you know, fast forward to now, we have made, you know, over $43,000 with one income stream. We're now part of 5 different income streams. You know, Jose was able to, you know, land a gig offline. So it's just been like just continuous growth, and just, you know, our life has totally completely changed from, you know, 9 months ago to where we are today, right? Yeah,
I would say the skills are 100% transferable. And that's what I like about it, because it has not only helped us online, it has helped me a lot offline, really. You know, I was able to land a 6-figure gig offline. I'm on my way to, you know, open another offline business that I'm very passionate about. So, I mean, like, everything has really changed for us, you know, and I would say that, you know, a lot has to do with Top Recruiters Academy, and what Darren has taught us.
The mindset training that you've taught us, and we are forever grateful, forever grateful. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to share our story again, because I know that, you know, there could be people out there that have been or are going through right now the same kind of situation, and just know that there is hope. There's hope, guys.
You know, guys, what I want to just talk about here, because, you know, we were talking before this broadcast about how people don't really realize that their gateway forward is actually backwards, okay? And if you're tuning into this broadcast right now, guys, we're talking about Top Recruiters Academy. This is a 2-month millionaire mentoring intensive, okay? Now, when I say intensive, I really mean it, guys, okay? I really take everything that I know about personal development, about manifestation, and about how to create whatever reality that you want for yourself. And this comes from making millions and millions of dollars myself personally, and raising tens of millions of dollars in venture capital. So these are completely transferable skills to every single area of your life. And when I talk about that, I mean every area of your life. I'm talking about going to a hotel and getting a suite upgrade, or booking an airfare and all of a sudden getting bumped up to first class. I'm talking about bypassing lineups. I'm talking about people literally giving you things for free that you didn't even ask for, right? I'm talking about always getting the gateway in, so to speak, right? It's almost like the stars align once you understand how these principles work, always getting the parking spot in front, always getting the last size that's available, always getting the tickets to the concert that you always wanted, that everybody says they're not available, and you end up getting front row seats. This is very, very common once you learn these strategies. So this is not just about network marketing or direct sales or the MLM industry or affiliate marketing. I'm talking about every single entrepreneurial business. So what I'd like to do right now is I want to actually share with you this story about how somebody went through this training. They applied these strategies actually to their real estate business, and in a very, very short period of time made an extra $89,000 in real estate commissions. So Emily, welcome to the call, and share a little bit about your story and your personal breakthrough.
Hi, Darren. Thank you. So I've been in the real estate industry for 6 years now. And in the beginning, it was always a struggle getting leads and prospecting. And every time a transaction comes through, I would worry about where the next client is coming from. So that was the biggest struggle that I have. And I had to pay for leads. So since TRA, Top Recruiters Academy, I was able to shift my mindset in a way and develop a system wherein I don't actually prospect, but prospects come to me now. And I don't have to chase them. And the biggest thing for me, it's not the money, but it's the freedom from that stress, freedom from that anxiety of having to chase the next client, having to chase the next commission check. Because of TRA, I've been able to develop a system where they will come to me and I will work with whoever is ready, and I will work with whoever I want to. Like, I can ditch people who I don't want to work with. In our industry, there are a lot of clients or prospects who, can suck the energy out of you, right? So with TRA, I was able to learn how to manifest great clients. Like right now, I don't even have horror stories anymore because everyone that comes to me has been great. Like I'm extremely grateful for that.
So Emily, let me ask you a question, because, a lot of people, they envision their future, right? They envision a path that they might like to be on, or they might wish they were on. Mm-hmm. Before you got into Top Recruiters Academy, did you ever envision that you would actually be teaching and training social media, that you would be teaching and training all the realtors in your group, and you would actually be doing seminars for the entire industry? Did that even cross your mind as a possibility of what could even happen, right, with where you were at before? So tell us a little bit about that.
No, not at all. So TRA has taught me how to step into my power, step into a leadership role to attract people. That's where it all comes in. I have to be a leader for people to respect me and to see me as an authority, right? Not only in my industry, but also in social media. Like right now, even fellow realtors are asking, what are you doing? What's going on? Like, why are you, your wall? Why is it so much interaction, right? It's me stepping into a leadership role because of TRA, which I never used to. I used to hide behind the computer. I didn't like talking to anyone. That was probably why I was struggling in my business. But now it's easy because I've shifted my mindset. Now I'm manifesting what I want. I'm manifesting my perfect business because of that shift in mindset.
Fantastic. Now, here's the interesting thing, because to go, just so you guys know, most businesses that are out there that are realtors, they typically have to either buy their leads, okay, or they have to spend a ridiculous amount of money on marketing, on advertising. We're talking about the notepads that go out in the mail. We're talking about the flyers that go out. We're talking about bus benches. We're talking about transit that goes by. We're talking about magazines. So let me ask you this, Emily. Since you went through Top Recruiters Academy training, this $89,000 that you went through, was that all just through social media strategies that you use and incoming inquiries that you've generated and word of mouth?
Yes, everything. I've stopped buying leads. So aside from me saving more, I'm earning more now because I'm targeting my sphere. I'm targeting whoever's around me, and it's word of mouth referral and people who are attracted with what I'm doing, with what I'm posting. So no, it's all profit. I haven't paid for anything. Nothing.
Wow. Guys, I want you to really understand the impact here, the power of this. Because when I talk about this 17-year-old kid that made $35,000 his very first month, he didn't spend $15,000 or $20,000 on advertising or on traffic or on Facebook ads to be able to make that $35,000, okay? So a lot of times when you hear these stories of these seven-figure income earners that maybe make 50 grand, here's what they don't tell you. They don't tell you that they're spending $25,000 on ads to generate the 50. So they didn't really make 50. They only made 25, okay? We're talking about strategies here where it's all profit, okay? All profit. So when I rolled out this campaign just over a year ago, and I started a business for less than $1,300 over here, and in the very first month in Canadian funds with all the income streams, guys, I generated $165,000, right? And a little bit of change extra was like 165,058.87 or something like that, right? But I'm sharing with you here that the difference between having a business where you really understand what to do and how everything works, how to provide value to the industry, how to get incoming inquiries, how to actually enroll people into your business on complete autopilot. Okay, I'm talking about you go to bed, you wake up, and you've got money waiting for you, right? That is a really good position to be in. Okay, trust me. You know, was yesterday or the day before, I had like about a $14,500 day, right? And that income was actually made without me. It was made without me. Now, what would it be like for you and your family if you woke up in the morning and you made over $14,000 without actually picking up the phone, without being on the internet, right? That money actually just kind of just showed up, right? So one of the things that you'll learn in Top Recruiters Academy is really how to develop your own special sauce. What makes you unique and different to the marketplace, right? It's a very good question to ask yourself, because I'll share with you that if you really want to 10x your income, you have to understand this one thing. The real product that you market is you. You might think that you're in weight loss or skincare or nutraceuticals or energy drinks or online tools, but I'm telling you that when you make the product you, and you actually develop your own special sauce, you become the attractor factor. So I'm going to share with you a strategy here before we go on here, is that I was with this one company called Explocial, okay? And I was the #1 income earner with that company. Now, here's what was really interesting. Everybody else was marketing Explocial, and I wasn't. How's that possible? How could I be the #1 income earner and not marketing the company? Think about that. So all these people, they were all these reps in the company, they were marketing their primary business. I wasn't, okay? I was marketing the Academy of Quantum Physics Mind Mastery. So all of the testimonials and the success stories came from my special sauce. So people would say, well, I want that. How do I get that? Oh, you get that when you join this. That is the secret to 7 figures, okay? That right there. So we rolled out this one company, Exodus Elite, right? I'm the #1 income earner in that, okay? So there's tons of reps in that company that are out promoting the features and benefits of the Exodus Elite products over here. I'm not, and I'm the #1 income earner. How's that possible? Think about it. So I'm over here marketing Black Ops Underground marketing, and this solves the pain of the marketplace. So people say, well, I want that. How do I get that? Oh, you get that when you join this. That, my friends, will literally 10x your income. Now, here's the secret. You don't need tons of different marketing strategies. You need one, okay? One. Don't let people try to convince you that you need 50 different marketing strategies or 20 or 10 or even 5. Master one, okay? Master one strategy and become very, very good at that one strategy. And then start digging a little bit deeper down that rabbit hole and really get good. How does the one thing that you've mastered help solve the pain of the marketplace? How does it help people to be able to build their business without having to harass their friends and family? It's a huge problem, guys, okay? Huge. Most companies teach you to make a list of your top 200. We don't do that, okay? We show you how to master the skills so that you can generate an unlimited number of leads and get incoming inquiries. So people are inquiring to you to want to find out more about what it is that you do in any entrepreneurial business. So people don't want to harass their friends and family. They hate getting rejected. How does your one thing, your special sauce, help those people to never get rejected again in their business? How does your one thing help them to generate unlimited leads for their business? How does your special sauce help them to be able to close those people and upsell them to higher ticket products? Think about that. How does your thing help those people to get explosive team duplication in their business? How does your thing help those people to be able to raise a marketing and advertising budget for their business? And how does it help them to be able to raise the money for their high ticket products? Okay. This is the important thing that you have to understand. If you want to become a master, solve the pain of the marketplace. And when people can only get that one thing from you, guess what happens? Not only do you become the attractor factor, right, which is very important, but you will literally have an entire army of other people promoting your brand because it's your special sauce. Think about that, right? And that's what you're going to be able to master in Top Recruiters Academy. Now, we take people through something called Unleash the Alpha Within. Now, this is the 5 steps to wealth creation. And this actually came from 30 years of being in the personal development industry, working with Anthony Robbins. In my 20s, 3 years, I was with Dr. Lee Poulos, learning the power of the subconscious mind, our core beliefs about money. How do you create the reality? Think about that. And then 2 years with Dr. Dov Baron, learning the equation for manifestation and how quantum physics actually works in your life and how you can become the master of your reality. Now, what I like to do right now is like to reach out to Pornthip. Pornthip, I got to tell you, I am so proud of you for the breakthroughs that you've had in the last 6 weeks. Pornthip, just so you know, guys, right now is in Top Recruiters Academy in the session that's just finishing up right now. But one of the most important things, if you really want to go to the next level, is this. One question. Are you coachable? Are you coachable? Will you follow the strategies? Will you follow the step-by-step instructions? And Pornthip has literally followed every single thing that I've told her to do. And she has literally had breakthrough after breakthrough after breakthrough. She's interviewing top leaders. She's putting out massive value on the internet. And yesterday actually was a massive breakthrough for her. Pornthip, share with us a little bit about that.
Thank you so much, Darren. I feel such a great honor to be here And thank you, the panel. You are such an inspiration to me. You all are. I had a massive issue with my life last year. Things were, were great before then. And I have a broken English, so forgive me in English language, but I don't care. I'm just gonna do it.
I love it.
So basically, I had a great career. And in the passion industry in early childhood. So I started out, I didn't speak a word of English, moved to Australia and stepped up in my career, and everything was just fine. And I progressed through in my career path, from the bottom up to the director of the services, to the senior lecturer at the university. So I have been blessed, so blessed and grateful in my career choice. But then things turned sideways. Last year, when I lost a few of my team due to the budget cut in the university. So the stress started to pull in. And I have to say that realize it now, my thoughts that start to go negative. Came home, my words just negative. And then my partner also stressed out from work, so we all talking negatives. So therefore, things start to go downhill from there. And then on top of this, we got the bad news from my mother, who was diagnosed of cancer. And that just spin me out. So basically, I need to come up with a strategy to create an exit pathway from the rat race to free me up in transitioning to go to Thailand and care for my mom. And I cannot just depend on a holiday period, 4 to 6 weeks a year, to travel, to leave work, to travel to care for my mom in Thailand. It's just not the way to go. So I need to create an exit pathway. And I've been looking online, searching online. And I found a few internet marketing system that I got sucked in, went in there, put money in there, all of my emergency fund just like dissolved like sugar in my coffee. And I haven't got returned from the money that I spend on advertisement. And that's what I've been taught. I've been taught to do, and pour of my emergency fund money to buy an upgrade in the company. So I'm talking about multiple 5 figures here that I just invested in there, in the belief that yes, it will happen for me sooner, so I can just resign from my own position and travel to be with my mom, to be a daughter again, to care for her. And then things just gone downhill from there. 7 weeks ago, just over 7 weeks ago, I had a massive car crash that almost killed the whole family. From that car crash, we flew in the air and it just landed and it just keep on spinning around. And after that, we recovered. So blessed, all of us survived. But to me, as Darren was saying, we got smacked. We got smacked. We got to make the change. This is the shock learning that I have. So since then, I joined the Top Recruiter Academy, and boy, mind blowing. Oh my goodness, I didn't know what I signed up myself into. It's just like, basically it's a lot more than what I expected. it's a lot more in depth. I'm serious. A lot more in depth than what you see out there in the day to day. That the posts, the readings, the everything that Darren talking about outside. That's a lot more to that, and that's actually the life changing period for me and my family. It's not just about learn how to create wealth. It's about relationship. It's about my marriage. We are now be very careful and fully aware of our thoughts. I apply this into my family and we repair relationship. My husband and I now talk positive words around each other, like someone up there listening. So we have to be careful of what we, even, inside our head, what we think. And I therefore start to have positivity coming my way. And my husband and I have a better relationship. And my children, I kid you not, my daughter had a really bad day from work. She confided that with me over the phone. She lives in Brisbane. So we talk on the phone. And I apply the skills and knowledge from you, Darren, to my daughter over the phone and blown her away. The word that she said to me was, "Thank you, Mom. I'm so grateful that I called you today. And you helped me." So she's gonna learn to be positive in her thoughts and her words. And then she's gonna move from A to B as I recommended to her. So thank you so much. I help my children. And now I like to move on to what I have achieved, other than relationship and family. I also apply our, knowledge from this course. I actually visualize myself that I'm gonna be working to a company that I have been, admired for so long. And one day they need a consultant. So I went for it, and I visualized that in my head that I'm gonna be that person in front of that meeting room, and I gonna go in there and I will succeed this. And I just talked to myself while I was driving there to meet the panel. And then I turn it around. Normally you go for an interview, you be the one who have to answer to everything. But I turn it around and I ask the question to the panels and I get them involved in my answer. So I turn that whole thing around, so I'm in control. The person who hold the questions are in control. Yes, thank you, Darren. And I got that consultancy deal. And that's now will be generating $72,000 ongoing annually.
Oh, wow. That's phenomenal, Porntha. That's
Thank
phenomenal.
You.
So proud of you, Porntha. That's just
Thank
amazing.
you.
Guys, I want to share with you here that, when we talk about this industry, okay, what people don't really realize is that you're actually in a personal development business model. You probably joined our industry thinking that you were selling weight loss products or skincare or nutraceuticals. I will share with you that if you want to get to 7 figures and beyond, the faster that you realize this, the faster that you accept this, the faster your income will grow. Our industry is actually a personal development business model. It's actually a leadership business model. And how are you going to get the skills to be able to step into your power, to step into your greatness, to actually be the one with the message, okay? Now, when I was in my 20s, I realized very, very quickly that if I wanted to make big money, I needed to be the one at the front of the room. I needed to be the one that was given the message. I needed to be the one that was given the value. The value, guys, this is the key. It is your value that you provide to the industry that actually determines your income, okay? So If you want to be able to increase your income, you need to increase your value, okay? So it's not just about going out there and pitching your products, okay? Because our business model is not a features and benefits business model, right? In our industry, it actually is very casual, and it takes between 5 and 12 connections or exposures to enroll somebody into your business, okay? A lot of people have never been given this data before. On the very first connection or exposure to your business, only 2% will join your business or buy your products. On the second connection, it only goes up to 3%, okay? On the third connection, it goes to 5%. On the fourth connection, it jumps to 10. But on number 5, from 5 to 12, 80% of people will buy your products or join your opportunity. Now, this is the challenge with salespeople because they're looking to book an appointment, pitch, close, deal with the objections, and get the money. Okay, that's a typical sales model. That's not our business model, guys. That's not our business model. And this is why the failure rate is so high, because people don't understand the business model. They've never been properly trained. They've never been properly coached, and they don't understand what to do. All they know is features and benefits. It's all they've been ever taught. They come from real estate, mortgage broker, insurance, automotive industry, retail, hotel, motel, some type of thing where they have a product and they want to convince you why you need that product when they don't even know what you want. Huge problem, okay? So what you're going to really be able to master is really the power of communication, being able to win friends, being able to influence people, to be able to make win-win relationships, okay? Not buyer's remorse relationships, right? This is a terrible thing. People go out and they try and do a hard close, and then the person gets buyer's remorse afterwards. You won't have that. You won't have that once you learn these strategies, and these are transferable skills into anything. I've used these strategies to raise tens of millions of dollars, guys, okay? Tens of millions in venture capital for public companies, private companies, and my own companies. What would it be like for you if you knew the skills and you could come up with any type of idea, any type of an invention or thing that you wanted to launch to the marketplace, and you could actually go raise the money to be able to fund your project, right? Think about the power and what that could actually do for you and your family. That's what you will learn in Top Recruiters Academy once you master these skills. Now, I want to reach out here quickly to Peter. Guys, people come from all walks of life, okay? It does. Some people have been in situations like Jennifer and Jose where they were literally on the verge of homeless. Some people are already very successful, right? They've already made millions of dollars, but they're really wanting to go into a 10x zone to go to the next level. We actually had a chief financial officer. She was already making $100,000 a year, okay? 2 months, she got a $212,000 raise at her corporate job, okay? From $100,000 to $312,000, okay? Now, here's the kicker. It was the same job. The same job, okay? But what changed, what was the difference, the little tweak, okay, is that her self-worth increased, okay, going through the training. Her confidence increased, her self-esteem increased, and now she became more valuable to the company. Now, here's the irony, and it's actually kind of similar to Emily's story, because Dodie had never been a public speaker before, but the Board of Trade, or the Chamber of Commerce in her local area, started following her wall, and they found a lot of inspiration and motivation, and they reached out to her and they asked her if she would actually be a speaker at one of their events. and she got paid over $5,000, guys, okay? Never spoken before, never done public speaking. She was paid over $5,000 for a 1-hour keynote speech at her local chamber of commerce. Okay, now think about this. 2 months, $212,000 raise at her corporate job, plus she became a public speaker. Okay, that's the power of this. So people are at all walks of life. They could be at the very bottom, they could be at the very top, right, in their career path. Now, Peter, tell us a little bit about your background story so people can really get an idea of where you're at right now as far as your success level. And then share with us a little bit about how opening up this gateway, really understanding more about the power of the mind, power of thoughts, words, and emotions, manifestation, quantum physics. What has this done in all areas of your life? Share your story.
Can you all hear me?
Yep.
Cool. Well, for starters, I'm here. I mean, look at this panel. Wow. I mean, I first met Emily a while back, and I was blown away with her story. And then as I got into this organization, then I came to learn about, you know, Jennifer and Jose and Charlene. And it was like, look at these people. And then, you know, Darren as well. And it was unbelievable that they were achieving what they were achieving. And I'd seen that in the past with lots of other leaders. I'm thinking, wow, there's something special about them people. But to give you an idea, well, in fact, let me just say, there is something special about them people, because there's something special about all people. And that goes for everybody. You know, Pornthip, look at that. What I want to say firstly is that, Darren, you'll remember the very first TRA, because I'm still on it now, the very first TRA session, I nearly didn't make it because I was in a restaurant and I got some sort of food poison thing. And next thing, they carted me away in an ambulance. Yeah. And I'm like, I've got TRA. I can't come to this thing. I've got to go. So I promise you, if they had said to me, you're staying in overnight, I would have done anything I could to get out of that hospital. And I discharged myself anyway. I said, I've got to leave. So I missed the first 20 minutes. And in doing so, Pornthip, I missed your story. And that story just resonated with me so much. It's brilliant. And I'm so glad that I've seen the breakthroughs that I have with you. It's remarkable. But anyway, so going back to my story then, I didn't come from a particularly, I wasn't brought up with a silver spoon in my mouth, but, you know, we had all middle class upbringing and whatever. But I just messed around at school, and I did a lot of drugs. You know, when I left school, all I did from 1989 to 1994 was drugs. And you can't keep on doing that without suffering the ill effects of it. So kind of the middle of 1990s, then I started, you know, being paranoid about going out. And what ended up happening was I was, you know, unemployed, and I was living in this place that cost about $50 a week. I was smoking cigarette butts off the floor, and hearing these voices. Like I said, I couldn't go out shopping. Even if I did, then I would only spend like $15 a fortnight on food. Anyway, so I thought, right, I need to do something about this. So I started reading books about psychology. That led to me thinking, hey, this is my future. I'm going to be a clinical psychologist. That didn't work out because, I mean, I studied for it, and I'm 3 years away from being a doctor, but it was just the wrong profession. I never wanted to be in a job. I never wanted to work. That's why I partied for so many years. So anyway, I just thought, right, I need to get out and do something. So consequently, I went and learned about real estate, and I built a property portfolio, I did it in 2003, and over the next 5 years, I just took massive action and built a portfolio worth, in UK money, 25 million. And in American money, it must be about whatever that exchange rate is, 30 million, something like that, which was all great, fantastic, you know. But the issue was that in 2008, the credit crunch hit, and I had a development business and I had an investment business, and the investment business was fine, and it remains to this day. But the development business literally disappeared overnight. So I thought, well, how can I fix this? And I've been using the internet to find property leads to buy. So I thought, well, that makes sense. I'll just do internet marketing then. So this was 2008. I thought, right, let's go out and and do that. And what I discovered was, for some reason, I don't know if it was because of that initial kick that I got with the sort of the crumbling of the property development business, but it was just like, I can't do it. I can't do it. I spent the next God knows how many years trying to do different things like forex trading and affiliate marketing and coaching. You know, there was some success with that, but nothing major. And it was just totally frustrating. And I must have spent $40,000 on different products. And in fact, what ended up happening, and they're still on this thing here, you know, I've got it's probably worth about $50,000. And if I'm honest with you, I probably haven't looked at a lot of it, which is just what it is. But there you go. I expect I'll be able to get it to work now. But anyway, so I was at my wit's end, and I thought, look, maybe I just couldn't work out how can I achieve that in that industry, but then come in this one and not be able to achieve it. And I was almost ready to quit. And then I met Danny, my mentor, and he just come on leaps and bounds. And it was like, what's happened to that guy? It's unreal. So I got involved with this organization and then realized immediately, look, what's happened to Danny is basically as a result of, you know, all the hard work that he's done within TRA. So I was just fascinated by what TRA was and what it stood for. And Danny said to me, it will change your life, man. It'll change your life. And I was, you know, kind of dubious about it because of all the other courses that I've been on before. But immediately I realized that it was different because I knew that I know what Danny was like in 2013 when I met him, and then I suddenly see him, and the guy's, it's like, you're older than your years. It's like you're ultra wise. What's happened to you? Whatever it is, I need to know about it. So anyway, that's why I came on, and basically what it kind of instilled in me is that the whole thing is 95% mindset and 5% techie stuff. Whereas all this time I've been looking at all the techie stuff and not even focusing on the mindset. And I didn't realize I'd unconsciously done that within property. I'd taken all the steps necessary to achieve success within that without even realizing I'd taken them, you know, the feeding your mind and all that kind of stuff. I hadn't consciously done it. I just thought, well, how do you do that thing? And I went and I learned it and learned the skills and the mindset that went with it. But in internet marketing, I hadn't done that. So what I then realized is it's an inner game. It's an inner fucking game. 10 years you've been looking over there and it was in here all along. And it's almost like, hold me down now. Okay, just keep a little slap. Right? It's a slap of excitement because it's like, wow. So what you're saying is that I control my reality. And if I choose, then I can achieve anything. And, you know, when you realize that, you suddenly realize that aside from the fact that time is limited, that we haven't got time to be negative. What the hell? You don't want to be negative because you're attracting the, you know, the whole vibrational frequency needs to be right to attract the abundance into your life. And, you know, I mean, I was on a bit of a low earlier on today because, believe it or not, I've been up for probably 23 hours now. Because I was fired up about this, but there was other things I was doing as well. But I don't feel like I even need to go to bed. So it's cool. But yeah, it's been phenomenal because every day there is more and more breakthroughs happening. You know, I just had one a minute ago when Pornflip said what she did. And then last week, Darren, I was saying, didn't I, that I know what happened to Charlene. Do you know what I mean? Because it's kind of like you can see there's such power and such belief that we're not just doing network marketing. Do you know what I mean? We're not, people think, oh, it's another thing. It's not another thing, all right? It's almost like salvation. It's almost like, look, can you not see that you're bringing this shit upon yourself, this negativity, apologies for the swearing there, but you're bringing that upon yourself and you don't need to. If you only started looking at things this way instead of that way, you'd instantly transform your life. And that is what... So
let me ask you this, Peter. Since you've gone through this training, since you've gone through this shift, are you popping $1,000 commissions?
Yes, consistently I've been popping $1,000 commissions ever since I pretty much started in TRA. What are we on, week 7 this week, isn't it? So I've consistently, there's been at least one a week. So I mean, passively, you know, there's an extra, I think there was an extra $700 this week that you can add to the pot. So there's about $5,000 there in that. It's also worth pointing out that when I realized, hang on a minute, this marketing business, Facebook's all you need, or at least the strategies that you teach within that platform. If you want to use a different platform, that's fine, but it's the methodology that is taught. So I've gone to people that manage my properties, obviously my staff, and said, hey, stop what you're doing. We need to be doing this, especially for like the student lets. So basically I've taught one of my guys to be doing the same sort of techniques that I've used here to pop these commissions. And he's like befriending all these people and reaching out to their networks and so on and so forth. And according to my calculations, because someone asked me on a webinar the other day that I was running, and they were like, well, how much have you made outside of that then? And it was like, well, it's an extra 20 sales, and that's $4,000 a sale. So that's $80,000 extra of income in my business as a consequence of saying, hey, don't do it that way, mate. Do it this way. So you know, I'm made up with that.
That's fantastic. That's awesome. Well, congratulations, Peter. Continued success, bro. I'm so proud of you. Guys,
Thanks.
This is a phenomenal story. Imagine what it would be like for you if you were a single mom and you found yourself spiraled all the way down the rabbit hole where the only money that you had to buy groceries was your credit cards, and you were actually paying interest just to eat. Now, what would that be like for you? No income, no job, no way out, and the only thing that you have left is your credit cards, and you spiraled down the rabbit hole into depression. Now what? What do you do now? Now, this is phenomenal, guys, because the lady that you're about to meet, Charlene Savage, not only did she go from living on her credit cards to over $94,000 in 6 months. She wrote and published her own book, and now she's a public speaker, all from going through this life transformation in Top Recruiters Academy and Unleash the Alpha Within. So, Charlene, share your story. Welcome to the call.
Thank you, Darren. It's always an honor to be here on these calls and to be amongst these amazing leaders that you've just you've basically risen up. So a little bit about my history. I came from a very strict features and benefits conventional sales background. I was extremely successful. I was running large sales teams, and this was in consumer electronics. So I was the girl who could sell ice to Eskimos, and HDMI featured LED TVs, technology, you name it, that was me. And so I lived a really good life in terms of material things. I had built my dream home. I drove my dream cars, going on holidays, you name it. But behind closed doors, I was going through a lot of marriage issues. And that really stemmed from a lot of my childhood, whereby, domestic violence growing up, alcoholism growing up really was brought into my years of marriage. And so that really had a bit of a shaky sort of foundation there. And so, what we decided to do was to try and start new and move over to Brisbane in Australia, which is where I am currently now, to try and start afresh. And, it didn't work. It just didn't work. It was too hard. And so here I was, brand new country, no friends, no family, and I had to start all over again. And my son stayed with the dad, and there was some stability there. I wasn't quite with it, I guess you could say. So I moved out and I found a place to stay, and I hit rock bottom, because my son is everything to me, but I just wasn't in a very good state to be a parent that he deserved. So I decided to sacrifice. I decided to sacrifice my time with him so that he could, grow up in a reasonably stable environment. And so hit depression, My family wasn't there. I was vulnerable. I did what I did best, and that was just alcohol and, you know, and partied basically. And so I just woke up one day and just knew that that was it. I was at the end of myself, hit rock bottom, and I cried out to God. And I just said, if you're real, show yourself to me. I need help. Someone doesn't, you know, I need to have some help from somewhere. No one understood me. No one got my story. And so it was that day I literally I reached out to him and I gave my heart to Jesus. And, you know, there was a transformation there. I threw in my job. I went to Bible college, graduated pastoral leadership, and there was this massive transformation. But during that time, I was a student and I wanted to earn some income. And so I discovered this online world, which was really daunting. But I thought, hey, you know, I can do this because I've sold in large sales teams before. I can apply the same features and benefits, pitching and selling strategy, right? Wrong. It was so wrong. And so I just got nothing but pushback. I had shiny object syndrome. It wasn't 1, 2, or 3, or, you know, it was more than 4 companies that I got, you know, involved in because I was so hungry to generate income. And so I got nothing but pushback, and I found that it was quite a different industry and quite a different model to what I was used to. And that was when I asked God for a sign. I said, please show me something that's going to help me, you know, create the wealth that you have said that you will create for me. And so he said to me, follow the lion and the eagle. He's quite specific. And as I went online, I did some research on the internet, and I came across you, Darren, and you were sharing a value-based webinar, and you shared your desktop, and there was this lion. My heart skipped a beat, and you went through some of the pain that I was experiencing. But the one thing I was waiting for was the eagle. And it was the Top Recruiters Academy eagle that I saw, that I knew, okay, that's what I've got to do. So I actually enrolled right from the outset into TRA, not knowing anything about what it was about. I had no idea. I just said, whatever you're doing, I'm going to do it. Sign me up. When does it start? And so, you know, it was during that time that God led me to the vehicle to create wealth. And it was then that I realized that, you know, it was 8 weeks of consecutive millionaire mentoring. You know, it wasn't just 1 hour on a Saturday. It wasn't just 2. It wasn't 3. Sometimes it went 4 or 5 hours. It was because when Darren Little starts, you can't stop him, and it just goes on and on. And it was so much value that I loved it so much. I enrolled twice. You know, I did it for 4 months. Guys, I did TRA for 4 months because once was just never enough. It's like a potato chip. You can never have, you know, just one. You've got to have a lot more. And so I loved it so much because, you know, for the first 6 weeks, I think was when I really sort of hit my breakthrough, much like porn theft. And I hit another spiral. And I woke up. It was about me mastering my thoughts and my words and my emotions. So I'm very strong in my faith and spiritually, but within TRA myself personally, it was just a matter of just refining some things. And I needed to be around other people to refine what was going to work to apply to business, so to speak. And so I had to master those 3 to master the 4. And if you want to find out the 4, Darren will tell you when you join TRA. So, you know, I loved it so much. I enrolled twice, and, you know, with the Millionaire Mentorship and, you know, my results within, you know, 2 weeks, I generated $10,600 online. Within my first month, I did $19,000 online. And as Darren said before, you know, I've now hit, I've got 6 income streams, 4 of them which are passive. And, you know, the main income stream is the Millionaire Mentoring. And, you know, it's a total of $95,000 in income now within a space of 6 months. I could never have thought that I would be sitting here sharing this testimony 6 months ago based upon using my credit card. And you know what? I haven't used my credit card, Darren. I don't use it. I just don't use my credit card. And that's so refreshing. It's like gathering dust, which is a good thing. This is a good thing. And so, you know, I now have published my first book as well. I say first because there will be many more. And it really now enabled me to step into the power that God had given me. I've now claimed my inheritance. I've now claimed my birthright. I now have claimed the abundance that God has for me. And going through TRA was, you know, you spoke a lot about that language, and to hear it from you, it really was confirmation on following the lion and the eagle and to where I am today. And, you know, the best is yet to come, Darren. There are some amazing things to come, and I would not, absolutely would not have been able to set that foundation and go to that next level had I not done and completed, you know, this intensive Millennium Mentoring through Top Recruiters Academy. And for that, I honor you, and I want to thank you. Thank you.
Wow. Fantastic. That's just guys, that is what this is about right there. Okay. That. Okay. Because this is about you. This is about transforming your mind, because this is where it starts. But it's an extension of this, because this thought directs into an emotional feeling in your body and goes out like a radio broadcast frequency. And that is what you need to learn how to master. Now, guys, here's what I'm going to share with you. March was sold out. April was sold out. May was sold out. June, July, August, September, October, every single month was sold out. Now, this is actually the first broadcast that we're doing for the November, December of Top Recruiters Academy. And I can tell you this, spots go super fast, okay? No joke. Okay? Now, here's the irony. We're actually talking about this right before this broadcast, because tonight is Friday the 13th, and the spots have already started going. But ironically, there's 13 spots left. 2 are already gone, okay? This is our first broadcast tonight. So all I can tell you is this. If you really want to learn how to master your mind, how to create your own reality, how to learn the equation for manifestation, how to step into your power, how to step into your greatness, how to tap into abundance like you have never, ever thought that was even possible, Top Recruiters Academy will completely and totally change every aspect of your life. And I'm not just talking about financial here, guys. I'm not talking about just your network marketing company. I'm talking about health, wellness, spiritual, emotional, family, relationships, career, travel, financial goals, material things, and contribution, giving back, and making a difference. Now, like I said, it's first come, first serve, guys, okay? Sometimes what happens is when I do these broadcasts, I mean, could literally just go brrr, and they're gone, okay? Now, once that happens, the shopping cart will come down and it will put right on there sold out, okay? So if you really want to go 10x and you're one of those people that's in transition, you've reached a breaking point, you might be in a company, but you're not getting liftoff. You're not getting that exponential growth. I'm going to share with you the exact formula that I use every single time to be able to go vertical in every launch that I do, okay? So we just rolled out 2 Bitcoin deals as an example. Very first month, I made over $65,000 in Bitcoin, month 1. Okay, month 1, the first month, okay? We rolled out, when I rolled out Exodus Elite, $108,000, month 1, guys, okay? And I'm going to show you exactly what to do, step by step, literally paint by numbers, so that you can actually learn the true 7-figure formula without having to take a second mortgage out on your home for advertising. Now, here's what I'm going to share with you. If you actually were to go to darrenlittle.com and click on the button that says mentoring and coaching, you'll actually see that it's $1,000 an hour. We do between 4 and 5 hours sometimes every single Saturday. And if you actually did the math on the value, it's $38,000 over the 2 months. Real value, guys, okay? Not some number that I'm making up here, right? Real value of $38,000. And right now, for a very, very limited time, you can actually get access to this training for $4,750. Now, I will share this with you. It's not going to be that price for very much longer. It will revert back up to its original price of $10,000 very, very soon. So this is the time, guys. If you're serious, you really want to learn the 7-figure formula, you really want to 10x your income, click that link below this video right now. There's testimonials even underneath that. Throw your hat over the wall. Trust in this process. I'm telling you, once you learn these strategies, you will never, ever have to worry about money ever again for the rest of your life. And that, my friend, you can take to the bank. So you've got Darren Little here from Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. Thanks a lot for joining us. Thanks to my panel of leaders. Guys, I'm fired up for you. I'm excited. Throw your hat over the wall. Click that link below, right down underneath this video. Let's take it to the next level in Top Recruiters Academy in the November-December launch. Thanks a lot for joining us and have a great night. All the best.